This week on TechRap, gamers get a new gaming console for the first time in 6 years. But is the Wii U any good? We take you back in time to see what you posted on social media this day in history a year ago. And we take a look at some of the latest Windows 8 laptops. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap. With all the lust-worthy smartphones of 2012 launched and shipping, it's time to focus our attention on a new class of tech devices, gaming consoles. About time if you ask me. Launching in North America this week is the Nintendo Wii U, successor to the highly popular Nintendo Wii, and the first gaming console launched in the last 6 years. If you remember back in 2006, the Wii revolutionized gameplay with its motion sensor-based controller called the Wiimote, allowing users to interact more with their games. The console was a hit and it got gamers off the couch. While the Wiimote is alive and well, at the center of the Wii U experience is its new gamepad, which to me looks like a fusion between a Nintendo DS, complete with stylus, and 2 nunchucks. The 10-inch gamepad sports a 6.2-inch 16:9 touch display. Depending on what game you're playing, the gamepad can either serve as a mirror display, meaning you can choose to look at your gamepad or your TV, or if someone else in the family needs the TV, use a gamepad exclusively, or used as a complementary device, where additional game controls and features are easily accessible while the game is ongoing. A nice touch if done right. The device launches in Europe and Australia on November 30th and in Japan on December 8th. Not quite sure why Asia is the last to get the Wii U. After all, Nintendo offices are based in Japan. Gmail users, have you ever had to close a draft of an email you were working on so that you could go back to your inbox and check on an email that you were using as a reference? Well, now you don't have to with the new Compose tool from Gmail. Google started testing the feature a month back and promised to enable it for everyone over the coming months. Looks like that time has come with users reporting of access to it. The new Compose window resembles a larger version of the Gmail chat window docked to the bottom of your browser window. It will just float there, allowing you to navigate through the contents of your Gmail inbox without having to close it. Other new features include the ability to add inline images and an improved reply interface. On Twitter, Ken TechRap tells us, "I like it better than the previous interface. It's rad, more manageable, and looks sleeker. I personally couldn't agree more." In an effort to make Firefox more social, Mozilla releases Firefox 17 this week. Notable in this release is a social API, which allows developers to integrate social services into Firefox. Only one social application, Facebook Messenger, is currently available, but that could very well be the reason why you'd want to use Firefox 17 over anything else. Activating Facebook Messenger for Firefox keeps the Facebook sidebar available to users, even when they aren't on Facebook.com. This means that you don't have to be on Facebook to chat with your Facebook friends, see their latest updates, or get the latest notifications. In the future, expect other developers to create apps that plug into this new social API. I'd love to have the ability to view and compose tweets from any browser window. If you want to take Firefox 17 for a spin, visit mozilla.com/Firefox. Once installed, you can enable Facebook Messenger by visiting their page and clicking the Turn On button. Back in 2011, during the first Foursquare hackathon, a company called Foursquare and 7 Years was born, offering a service that allowed you to retrieve your Foursquare check-ins from a year ago and send them to you via email. Soon thereafter, the company was renamed TimeHop, offering other services like Facebook and Instagram posts. If only there was an app for that. Well, last month, the team over at TimeHop released their iOS app. The service shows old posts, photos, and check-ins from Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, Instagram, and Flickr, as well as photos from your camera roll. Then, every day at 7 a.m. your time, the app sends you a notification that your daily time hop is ready, a digest of what you are up to this day in history from 1 to 3 years ago. The app is a great way to extend the life of our posts, many of which we forget about after posting. Once your digest is published, you have the option to share individual posts back to Facebook and Twitter. A few notes to users: make sure you go into Profile to set your time zone so that you can get alerts when you start your day. You can also go into notifications to enable real-time mode, which sends you notifications for each of your updates in real time at the time they were posted on that day. And if you tweet a lot like I do, because of limitations set by Twitter, if you make about 3,200 tweets a year or about 8.7 tweets a day, then TimeHop won't be able to pull last year's tweets in for you. TimeHop tells you which of your friends are already using the service and allows you to see stories they have shared. Unfortunately, my 6 friends aren't sharing anything, so at least for now, it won't be something I can enjoy along with them. Early adopter pains aside, I'm really starting to love the app. I also love their mascot, Abe the dinosaur, who will be your guide as you travel back in time. TimeHop CEO Jonathan Wegner tells TechRap via email they'd love to build an Android version in the future, but don't have any firm plans on when that actually will happen. For now, it's available to iOS users, and if you don't have an iOS device, you can always subscribe to their email updates via TimeHop.com. Looking to get a new Windows 8 laptop for Christmas? The folks over at Microsoft hooked us up with the latest notebook PCs to run Windows 8, and we picked 3 favorites sure to fit any budget. First up is the Asus VivoBook X202. At 21,000 pesos, it's perfect for the budget conscious. The 11.6-inch laptop resembles netbooks of years past, but in a sleeker package and with a touchscreen display much needed if you are to maximize the Windows 8 experience. The X202 is powered by an Intel ULV847 1.1 GHz dual-core processor with 4 GB of RAM and a 500 GB hard drive. On its left side, LAN, HDMI, and 2 USB 2.0 ports, and on its right, VGA, 1 USB 3.0 port, and an SD card reader. Next up is the Samsung Ativ Smart PC. Probably the most novel of the bunch, the Ativ Smart PC is both a tablet and a notebook computer. Although at 11.6 inches, it's rather large compared to standalone tablets, the addition of a keyboard dock does take functionality a lot further. It's worth noting that the Ativ is the first computer to run on Intel's new Atom processor. Early reviews say it is not powerful enough to rival those of standalone notebooks. We too noticed a bit of sluggishness, even when just flipping the device's orientation. The Ativ Smart PC has 2 cameras, 8 megapixels on its rear, and 2 megapixels in front. Other specs include 64 GB of space, 2 GB of RAM, 1 USB, and 1 HDMI port. Price, 40,000 pesos. Finally, we got our hands on the Acer S7. The best of the bunch comes with the heftiest price tag. At 70,000 pesos, it is quite a stretch on the budget. But it's a beauty. Ultra sleek, lightweight but tough, and with a 1080p Gorilla Glass touchscreen display that can extend all the way back to a 180-degree angle. The S7 is worth checking out. Online reviews complain about the device's poor battery life and its speaker quality, so do give that a look-see and decide if it's bad enough to be a deal-breaker for you. Specs-wise, the device measures 13.3 inches diagonally, runs off a dual-core Intel i5 1.7 GHz processor, 4 GB of RAM, and a 128 GB SSD. On its front is a 1.3 megapixel camera. Ports include USB 3.0 and micro HDMI. All 3 devices are already available at leading PC resellers in the Philippines. We were quite disappointed that we didn't get to see 2 other promising models that you should look out for, the Dell XPS 12 and the Lenovo Yoga. Keep an eye out especially on the latter, which is our favorite of the lot. And that was TechRap. For news and updates, follow Rappler.com on Twitter and Facebook. And if you have any tech questions or requests about what you'd like featured on the show, send me an email at techrap@rappler.com or a message on Twitter using the hashtag TechRap. That's all for this week, folks. I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.